Hola, bienvenidos a Tina's Spanish Cafe. This is where we spend some time in conversation, having some cafecito, but most importantly, learning Spanish. You know, cafecito is a very important part of Latin culture. I love what it represents. Time with friends, time with family, and time for good conversation. Every cafecito cup has a special meaning to me. This one came to me from Brazil. Our dear friends, the Gargalaca family, gave me this cafecito cup. Gracias or muito obrigado. Qué rico el cafecito. Our lesson for today is about Spanish pronunciation. Once we get done with today's lesson, your Spanish is going to sound so much better. Because Spanish pronunciation is a lot easier than English pronunciation. We're going to start, of course, with the vowels. In Spanish, like in English, we have 5 vowels. However, they sound differently than they do in English. We have A, E, I, O, U. Let's start with the first one, A. The thing for you to remember is that this letter A, which sounds just like the sound that you make when you go to the doctor's office and he says, say A, so you go A. It never changes sounds. It doesn't matter where it's placed in the word. It's always A, as in the word alto in Spanish, as in the word amor, as in the word arte. You hear that A. That's not the case in English. Think of what the Spanish speakers have to go through when they are taught that this is an A in English. Then they get to this word. Now it sounds A, apple. But they get to this word. Now it's ape. And what happens when they get to this word? Peach. The A sound disappeared. That does not happen in Spanish. Mi borrador. Let's go to our next letter, the letter A. In Spanish, you have the word elefante. Espera, wait. Escucha, listen. The sound there is like the sound that you hear in the word best or escape, like when someone escapes from a cage or from jail. A. Again, it never changes. Once an A, always an A. The next sound is I, as in the word iglesia, church in Spanish, or isla, island, or igloo, where the Eskimos live. The sound it makes is like in the word be or eat. That's the sound for the E. Again, and I'm going to be saying this over and over. It never changes. It's always an E. Then you have O, as in the sound is the sound in English when you say no, or o. In Spanish, Oscar, or ocho, the number 8, ocho. That is the sound of this letter. Again, it never what? It never changes. You're right. Then you come to U. U sounds like the word food, except a little bit shorter than that. Or the sound that the cow makes, moo. U, as in uno, number 1. or usted, you, the formal you in Spanish, or the word útil, useful. This is the only letter of the 5 vowels that sometimes is silent in Spanish. Otherwise, all these letters need to, I always tell, this is what I tell my students, every letter in Spanish needs to feel important. So you need to say their sound. So if you see an A, say it. If you see an E, say it. If you see an I, say it. If you see an O, say it. If you see a U, say it. There are very few cases, and I'll talk about it right now, when the U sometimes is silent. And that is when it comes after a Q, as in the word que, what? Que. Or the word quien, who. After a Q, then the U in Spanish is silent. Also, when it comes after a G in these combinations, you and I, as in the word guitarra, the guitar, guitarra. Now you don't hear the U in here. What's another one? G-U-E, guerra. In these two combinations, then the U is silent. Guerra, war. If the U comes in one of these combinations and it is supposed to be pronounced, you have a sign for that. It's a long, complicated word, which I'm not even going to mention it, but you have the word pingüino, for instance, pingüino, and you're going to say, oh, here is the UI combination, just like in guitarra, so this word should be pinguino. No, you'll have these 2 little dots on top of the U, and that is your sign that you do pronounce that, that U. So instead of pinguino, it's pinguino. And that's all there is to it, to the Spanish vowel sounds. I also have a lesson, of course, with the consonants in Spanish and how to pronounce the consonants in Spanish. It's not a difficult lesson. And like I said about the vowels, once you learn how each letter sounds in Spanish, your Spanish will sound so natural. Please visit my website at www.tinaspanishcafe.com. In Spanish, www.tinaspanishcafe.com. Hasta la vista y gracias.